What's happening, everyone? I'm going to show you 3 choices and I want you to pick the one which looks most like your current eating situation. Now, be honest with yourselves, it's just one question, so watch up. Time to eat, what to choose. Here we go.
You want it, don't you, fat boy? You want that donut? Go ahead and have a bite. Just a little bite. One little bite won't hurt you.
So don't worry, whether you were choice 1, 2, 3, or some combination, you're at the right video. My name's Achidi, I'm a type A personal trainer and life coach, and I'm out here giving simple and sustainable solutions to a lot of life's problems. If you're a hardworking individual trying to get their health and wellness right, you're at the right video. Today we're going to be starting off talking about general nutrition. I'm going to give you the essential meat and potatoes, and that's a pun intended, of what it takes to have just a balanced understanding of nutrition. So let's get started. Now before I get into the entire meat and potatoes dish, can you throw me a few scraps and just help me grow my channel? It just takes one quick subscribe and a small little like to help me grow to 100 subscribers. Thanks for taking that quick moment. Now to the good stuff.
Protein rocks. Are you guys talking about protein? I love protein. I love protein too.
We know you love protein. Protein rocks.
Awesome. Protein rocks.
Protein.
Now, with a title like meat and potatoes, you know I gotta start off talking about protein. Yes, that protein stuff is exactly what our body is made of. The first role of protein is, in fact, to make all those soft tissues that our body is made up of. So all of your cells, going down to skin, hair, muscle, etc., is made up of protein. That's why you gotta load up on it. The second role of protein, it is in fact an energy source that keeps you feeling full. But as I said before, the first and main priority is to build up more of your body. Now, just how much protein do you need to have? Now, if you're an active individual like myself, or you're trying to aim for a higher amount of protein in order to drop down in body composition, primarily losing body fat, you're gonna wanna aim for about 1 gram per pound of body weight in protein. So what that boils down to is I weigh about 190 pounds, I aim for about 190 grams of protein on average per day. If you are not heavily active or you're not trying to include a high protein diet, then your needs will be less, and that amount is gonna only be about 0.66 grams to 0.75 grams per pound of body weight. So what that translates to is if you weigh approximately 100 pounds, you need only about 66 to 75 grams of protein per day. Now, what does that break down to per meal or snack? So what I'm about to say are just some average estimates. It will be very much based on what you can handle on the meals that you put into your body. So on average, if you're looking for an amount to have per full sit-down meal, like you're gonna use fork, knife, table, and all that stuff, aim for about 15 to 25 grams of protein in that meal. If you're just having a small meal or a snack on the go, 10 to about 15 grams of protein will hit the spot right. After a workout, about 15 to 25 grams is still that sweet spot if you're gonna have a protein shake. Now, if you're going for the maximal amount, most of us, even active males, can tolerate up to about 40, maybe 50 grams of protein at a time. After that point, you're really gonna feel pretty heavy and you're not gonna be digesting it as completely as you would like to, so try not to exceed 40 to 50 grams of protein in one single meal. Now, what about protein sources? Here's a chart with some quick and easy reference to some protein sources. Both animal and plant proteins work for everybody out there, so find what works for you. The main thing is you want to avoid processed foods as much as possible. So shop around and avoid things that come in a package as much as possible. Now we're on to the deliciousness known as fats. Believe it or not, fats are essential. Not only are they delicious, I can't say that enough, but fats have 3 crucial purposes in the body. First and foremost, they are one of our longest lasting energy sources. When you have fats in your diets, you're able to go for longer periods of time without needing to reintroduce food to your body. Our body has to invest more time breaking down fats versus carbs or protein for energy, so that's why it's a great source of fuel to last a long time. Beyond the fuel source, fats help keep you warm and insulated against the elements, and it's necessary for functioning of your nervous system in order to conduct those impulses. And lastly, your fats regulate your hormones. If you are too low or too high in fats, it's not a good deal. Women can lose their menstrual cycles if they're too low in fats, and guys, if we're too low in fat, your desire for the bedroom action, that's a no-go. So you do need to have fats in your diet. So let's talk about some good sources. If it comes down to it, you can go from any of these fat sources that are on this big chart over here. There's plenty of them to choose for, so spread them all out and enjoy your meals. When it comes to cooking, it is preferable to use animal-based fats in order to cook your foods. Plant or vegetable-based fats, while being healthy in some sense, convert differently in the body and are not processed and broken down quite as well as animal fats. And also, some plant-based fats do raise estrogen levels, and that can throw off hormone balance in females and in males with differing effects. So stick to more animal fats when you can, and mix and match for a delicious and nutritious nutritional profile.
What do you think? Oh my god, this is crazy.
So we're down to carbs. The one macro which seems to be in and out of public favor. Are we supposed to eat carbs, avoid them, eat, avoid? You do need to eat carbs. What you need to make sure you are not doing is over-consuming them. It's pretty obvious when you're over-consuming carbohydrates because you're feeling constantly bloated and you're starting to accumulate excess body weight that wasn't there before. So carbs' main number one focus is quick energy. And that kind of energy is utilized best when being active. But at times when you're not being as active, you should drop your carbohydrate intake down. So that's the general gist of it. You can manipulate the amount of carbs that you need to eat as your body is telling you. If you are finding that you are low in energy, that your workouts are missing something, that you can't seem to just get up and go, you're probably excessively low on carbs. So add a little bit in before your workout. Or if you're finding that you're constantly puffy and inflamed and you just can't seem to stop relentlessly snacking, find a way to downgrade the amount of carbs that you're taking in. And speaking of which, let's talk about some sources. Here we have yet another chart showcasing the many combinations of carbohydrates that you have out there. This is not a complete list, so continue to explore the produce aisle in your store to find some of the best fruits that will make you feel the most energy and give you some good flavors. But you don't have to just stick to fruits when it comes to quick carbohydrates. Those are the kinds of carbohydrates you want to have before or during a workout. So fruits work well, and also white rice works exceptionally well. Watch your servings on this because it's easy to overconsume without feeling full on carbohydrates. When you need longer digesting carbohydrates, particularly after a workout or just when the availability of food won't be quite so ready, go for potatoes and other kinds of starches or fermented breads like sourdough. Those, again, will give you quick energy, but your body doesn't break them down quite as quickly as the simple sugars contained in rice and in fruits. And lastly, let's limit our processed and refined sugars. So sodas, juices, packaged junk foods, or going to restaurants, even if they're healthy, they will often sneak in little bits of processed and refined sugars in order to make it more delicious for us. So do your best to source your own fruits and other pieces of produce to get your carbohydrates, and you will have the best bet at mitigating your sugar intake. Lastly, I'm going to talk about alcohol, and I'll make this one real quick. Alcohol does provide your body with energy. You get a slight edge of energy more from alcohol than you do from carbs and from protein. But unfortunately, alcohol is seen as a poison on the body, and these are some of the negative effects of it. And also, because you get a higher amount of energy from alcohol than you do from carbs and protein, and your body is going to want to burn through that alcohol before the carbs, protein, or fat that you possibly have consumed, chances are all that energy is going to get turned into body fat. So if you are drinking alcohol, remember it is giving you a lot more energy than you realize, especially being in liquid form. So moderate or consider eliminating it from your diet. There you have it, a quick guide to understanding the basics of nutrition. You now know why protein is a vital thing to have as a mainstay of your eating. You cannot exist without eating fats, and your body needs to maintain fat on it to survive. Carbs are one of our most valuable energy sources, but you have to moderate your intake of it. And lastly, if you choose to drink alcohol, do so in moderation, but understand it is gonna do more harm than good at the end of the day. This is the first part on my nutritional series. I'll see you on my next video where I dive into yet another nutritional topic. Have a great week, everybody.